If you thought the tension between Terence Crawford and Gervonta "Tank" Davis was finished, think again. Crawford just reignited everything with a surprising comment during a recent sit-down interview, and Tank wasted no time firing back in a way that shook the boxing world. Crawford casually floated a bold idea, suggesting that Tank could face Shakur Stevenson on the undercard of his massive showdown with Canelo Alvarez. He even added that it would have been a great moment if Tank wasn't so focused on grabbing all the attention. That single line was enough to set things off. Tank's response came fast, sharp, and loud, instantly spreading across social media, boxing outlets, and fighter circles everywhere. Now everyone's talking, and the situation is hotter than ever. Let's break down exactly what happened and why it matters.
Crawford and Canelo, I'm pretty sure.
Shakur and Tank?
Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope, but if Tank was not so cocky to be on a Terence Crawford undercard, that would be dope. But I don't see Tank taking a backseat to no fighter.
Here's what really stirred things up. Crawford was speaking in an exclusive interview with The Ring and laid out his vision clearly. Yes, he's set to headline the massive Riyadh season event on September 13th against Canelo, but he made it clear he wants the entire card loaded with meaningful fights. In his mind, nothing would elevate the night more than the long-awaited lightweight clash between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. That's where his comment caught fire. Crawford said it would have been a great look if Tank wasn't too focused on being the star while appearing on a Terence Crawford undercard. It wasn't a full-on insult, but it definitely wasn't accidental either. He followed that up by giving major praise to Shakur and even Keyshawn Davis, calling them the two standouts in the division without hesitation. Quietly confident, slightly cutting, and very deliberate. The message underneath it all was obvious. Crawford sees Stevenson as someone who should be center stage, and he believes Keyshawn belongs in that elite conversation as well. No shouting, no drama, just a calm statement that still managed to hit hard. INT. But putting Tank beneath another fighter on the card is where things cross the line. That idea alone was enough to reopen old wounds. The interview instantly reignited the tension between Tank and Bud, throwing gasoline on a feud that's been quietly burning for years. Ever since Tank took shots at Bud's wife and publicly sided with Errol Spence back in 2023, there's been unresolved bad blood. Crawford's comments didn't create the rivalry, but they definitely dragged it back into the spotlight.
Hey, buddy Shakur, just one question. How did Keyshawn look, man?
Ready for whoever comes next, man. That boy ready. He been ready, actually. You know what I mean? It's just given the opportunity, that's all it is.
You got two little brothers that is closing on Tank. You know, one of them gonna get him.
One of them gonna get him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great night of boxing when they do.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Terence basically argued that he's willing to step back and let Shakur have his spotlight, but Tank, he suggested, will prefer to be the one everyone's watching. That comment set off a chain reaction across boxing shows, influencer feeds, and fan threads, with everyone wondering exactly how Tank would respond.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is
Man,
it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, you know, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways, nah.
Tank didn't waste a second responding. Gervonta jumped straight on his social media and clapped back immediately. His response was brief, cutting, and full of that trademark Tank attitude. He made it clear he answers to nobody, saying he doesn't come behind any fighter. He challenged Crawford's authority, questioning who put him in charge of deciding how the card should look. Tank emphasized that he's never been comfortable playing a background role, even on a blockbuster night headlined by Canelo. His message was simple and loud. Wherever Tank goes, the spotlight follows, because in his eyes, he is the main attraction.
Next, I told y'all who I want to fight. I can't keep saying the same thing. I already told y'all who I want to fight. The best versus the best. That should be my next fight. I told y'all I'm a dog. I'm top level, elite level fighter. So let's make boxing great again. Let's put the best fighters in the ring with each other, and let's see who come out victorious.
What stood out most wasn't just the trash talk. It was how Tank backed it up with his resume. He reminded everyone that he's still unbeaten and carries fight-ending power in both hands, while Crawford was debating where names belong on a poster. That contrast lit a fire online. The boxing world went into overdrive as clips of Tank's response flooded TikTok, Instagram, and X within minutes. Fans quickly took sides, with a loud wave pushing the idea that if Tank and Shakur ever clash, it shouldn't be buried anywhere. It should headline the entire event.
When people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck. If everybody in the clean win, I mean, win. Fuck.
Same question for you. You're a proud father.
Let's peel back what's really happening here. On the surface, it looks like two elite fighters trading words, but beneath that, this is about image, legacy, and who controls the spotlight. Terence Crawford is focused on building a massive global event in 2025, with a Canelo fight in Riyadh as the centerpiece. From his perspective, the supporting bouts need to match the magnitude of that moment. In his mind, a matchup like Shakur versus Keyshawn fits perfectly. Young, motivated, and ascending. Tank, on the other hand, sees himself as too established to stand in anyone's shadow. He believes that even a lightweight super fight should revolve around him, not exist as a supporting act beneath another star.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes and daring to be great.
You would fight him,
man. Tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow,
man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-camp.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
There's also the issue of how each man is viewed. Crawford has earned his image as calm, precise, and lethal without needing noise. A thinker who breaks opponents down with strategy and timing. Tank represents the opposite energy, loud, explosive, and built on momentum and star power. That contrast is what keeps this tension alive. Crawford seems to view Tank's bravado as something he can read and anticipate. Tank, meanwhile, interprets Crawford's quiet confidence as either hidden insecurity or a subtle threat. At its core, this is about hierarchy and respect. By suggesting Tank would never agree to an undercard role, Crawford touched a nerve. For a fighter whose brand is built on dominance and swagger, that implication hits hard. Tank's response wasn't just emotional. It showed how sharp he is about image and business. He isn't only protecting his pride. He's guarding the story of who he is and where he stands in boxing.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I
might
keep
be
saying
afraid?
his name for?
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of something, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. That shit in boxing.
Let's be honest for a moment. Gervonta Tank Davis hasn't truly looked like himself since that strange and disappointing majority draw with Lamont Roach back in March. That result left supporters scratching their heads, analysts split down the middle, and Tank appearing unsettled. From that point on, it's felt like something switched off. The sharpness, the drive, the killer instinct, the discipline, all of it seemed to fade. And instead of clearing the air with a decisive rematch, Tank has gone in the opposite direction. Rather than confronting the controversy head-on, he's avoided it entirely, steering clear of a second fight with Roach instead of putting doubts to rest.
Still early in the game. What do you want your legacy to be when it comes to this game, man?
Beat the system.
That's system? What's the system of boxing?
Beat the system of boxing, life. Just beat the system. Be able to spread my wings and had my people next to me spread their wings. That's it. I ain't really got no big goal of this sports and all that. I just want to get my money and just remove myself.
And instead of fixing that situation, he's turned his attention to calling out Jake Paul. Yes, that Jake Paul. At that point, you have to ask, what are we really doing here? This isn't about boxing anymore. It's influencer drama dressed up with gloves. A Tank versus Jake matchup will be nothing more than a flashy money play. A circus attraction built for clicks and pay-per-view buys. There's no legacy at stake, no meaningful titles, no rankings that matter. Just viral moments, over-the-top press tours, and manufactured hype. And the most frustrating part? Both sides are completely willing to play along.